How can you lose so much weight it feels illegal? It's absolutely possible, but here's the thing. To guarantee you're not going to waste precious time and energy on failed weight loss attempts, we can't start with diet and exercise without first understanding the 3 major principles that come before. These steps are what I plan to cover today. Step 1 is what I call sharpen your focus. Imagine if you had the power to decide you wanted something and then you just went out and got it. No procrastination, no distractions, no pushing it off. You want the body? You went and got it. You want wealth? You went and got it. You want fame? You went and got it. You'd be unstoppable, and you can have that power, just at a cost. Let me explain. I want you to imagine that this teddy bear, this is you. And this statue right here, this is the goal. Look at that 6-pack. And this piece of paper, this is a giant wall that's blocking you from getting to your goal. The problem most guys have with getting in shape is they try and take on this massive task while still focusing on everything else in their life. The problem isn't with you, it's with your prioritization. As a kid, did you ever try and burn a hole in a piece of paper using a magnifying glass? That's how focus works. The more focused you are on one specific thing, the sharper that focus becomes. If you just focused on your fitness for a short period of time, you'd be able to sharpen that focus long enough to break through the wall and achieve the goal. But if you're trying to get in shape while still trying to juggle socializing on the weekends and catching up with the latest Netflix shows, and you're sacrificing sleep because of it, then the most you'll do is just warm up the paper. You'll never break through. A huge misconception around getting in shape is once you start, you'll never be able to treat yourself or enjoy a bit of junk food ever again. But it's actually quite the opposite. Yes, I'll admit, there is an extended period of time where you do have to sacrifice the things you enjoy. But if sacrificing these for a few months means you get to enjoy this for the rest of your life, surely that's a trade you'd consider. Losing weight is a skill, just like riding a bike. It's tough to start and you might fall off a few times, but once you've cracked it, you've got that knowledge and experience to benefit you for the rest of your life. Getting in shape is tough, staying in shape is nowhere near as hard. So I want you to ask yourself, what am I willing to sacrifice to get in shape? If watching Netflix instead of getting to bed on time is just something you can't give up, then maybe getting in shape isn't for you. But if you decide to sharpen your focus and make the necessary sacrifices, turn off the TV, throw away the junk food, sign up to the gym, focus is only going to help you with staying on track, not in deciding where that track leads. And how heartbreaking would it be to spend months working relentlessly on something that isn't even getting you closer to your goal? And that's where we move to step 2. You need to establish a vision. Where do you want to go? Do you want to get so jacked that people turn their heads when you walk out onto a beach? Or are you happy just losing enough weight to fit in your car comfortably? Both results have their pros and cons, but the higher you aim, the more you do have to sacrifice, but the more motivated you'll be to lose the weight. And if you want to have an infinite source of motivation for losing weight, then you need to set that bar high. I'll admit we are about to get pretty abstract here, so apologies if you get a bit lost. But for you to truly understand what it takes to stay motivated to lose the weight, we need to define what motivation really means. And the best definition I've found is inspired from multimillionaire Alex Hormozi. So here's the true definition of motivation. Motivation is the equal opposite of deprivation, meaning we're most motivated when we're most deprived of something. For example, I'm most motivated to sleep when I'm drop dead tired, or most motivated to eat when I'm starving. Now this logic works for basic human needs like eating and sleeping, but when we look at abstract ideas like physical appearance, things change. Using that same logic, you would expect an overweight person to be extremely motivated to get in shape because they're so deprived of it. But we just don't see that. So then it follows that the deprivation must come from our point of reference. Things like sleep and hunger can be compared with how we were feeling earlier, whereas physical appearance is in relation to the people around us. Here's an example to simplify. If you were overweight, but all of your friends were also just as overweight as you, then you wouldn't feel motivated to get in shape. But if out of nowhere, suddenly all of your friends got really lean, then you would become increasingly motivated to also get lean because your point of reference has changed. You're now extremely deprived of being in shape in relation to your reference point. Hopefully that makes sense, because understanding this is extremely important, because if we can choose our reference point, which we can, then by nature, we can cultivate as much motivation as we want to get in shape. If your goal is to look like this, and you truly think it's possible and you truly want to get there, then you're going to work your ass off to achieve it because you're so far away from the goal. But if you set your goal to lose a kg or 2 by the end of next month, then you're already extremely close to your goal, and therefore you're not too deprived of where you need to be, and motivation's going to be low. Bill Gates said this: most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but underestimate what they can do in 10. Now, I'm not suggesting you go out and spend the next 10 years of your life becoming the next Mr. Olympia, but don't underestimate what you can achieve in just 6 months of hard work, because the higher you set that goal, the more motivated you're going to be to hit it. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, I've sharpened my focus, made the necessary sacrifices, I've got a vision in my head and the motivation to make it happen. What else is there? Admittedly, we are almost at the point where we can take these ideas into the real world and see some real world progress. But there's just one more piece to this puzzle that's always overlooked, and it's going to connect everything else together to make this indestructible, and that's trial and error. Let's take me for example. I've been in and out of the fitness scene for almost 7 years now, and I've lost count of all the different diets and workout programs and exercise plans I've tried. You will not find something you enjoy on your first try. Just think, how many different jobs or relationships or hobbies or different video games have you tried before you found something you truly enjoyed? Why would it be any different for fitness? The first diet plan you try is probably going to suck, but the second one, a little bit less so, and the third one, even less. Because every different plan you test, you take from it what you enjoy and you throw away the rest. I remember an old diet plan I used to follow that had me cooking for upwards of an hour every night. I'd need to cook the chicken and prepare the rice and the beans and toss the salad. I hated it. The last thing I felt like doing after a long day at work was an hour of cooking. So you know what I did? I took the things that I enjoyed from that meal plan, like how the chicken was prepared, and I added it to a shorter, sharper meal plan that I'd used in the past. And over time, I found exactly what meals I enjoy eating and how to best prepare them. At this point, it doesn't even feel like I'm on a diet or I need to sacrifice foods to get in shape, because the foods I enjoy eating most are the ones that are helping me get in better shape. Simon Sinek, a well-known author that you might recognize, is well known for his idea of the infinite game. Essentially, in life, there are only 2 types of games: infinite games and finite games. Finite games are like chess and checkers, where there's winners and losers. An infinite game is like tag, where the point of the game is just to keep it going for as long as possible. And the only way you lose is when you stop playing the game. Fitness is an infinite game. The point isn't to win at the end. It's to keep it going for as long as possible. Even the biggest, fittest, best looking guy in the world is still striving to get better. The point is to make it so enjoyable and beneficial for your life that you just don't want to stop playing. That's how you win. But you can only get there by trial and error. So here we are, landing on what really moves the needle: our dieting and our exercise. And if you want to know exactly what I'd recommend to sort out your diet and exercise, you're going to want to check out this video right here. Thanks for watching, gents. We'll talk soon.